POTV Go app එක දැන්ම දාගන්න. POTV Go SLT POTV TV බලන හොඳම විදිහ.
Tonight, no place for terrorism. President Maithripala Sirisena vows to eradicate terrorism and bring stability to the country before presidential election. Safe or not, schools across the island to reopen tomorrow amid tight security. Chief Prelate of Asgiria meanwhile requests government to postpone commencement of schools. Expulsion. Underworld figure Mark Andre Madhush deported from Dubai this morning. CID takes over for questioning. Smashing records. West Indies rewrite ODI world record. Scores the highest opening partnership in one-day history.
AdaDerana ඇතුළත ඉදිමීම සමනය කරන අතර විනාඩි 5කින් ක්‍රියා කිරීම ආරම්භයි. AdaDerana දිවියට නව දිරයක්. AdaDerana වෙතින් එසේ කැක්කමට විශේෂඥයා AdaDerana Head Fast ඉක්මනට සහනය අදම අත්විඳින්න.
Sunday, the 5th of May 2019.
From AdaDerana, this is AdaDerana First at 9. Live from Studio 24 in Colombo.
Well, a very good evening and welcome to First at 9, AdaDerana 24, Sri Lanka's news channel. I'm Katharina Chang. Now, a short while ago, police curfew was imposed within the Negombo Police Division with immediate effect until 7 a.m. tomorrow. Police spokesperson SP Gunasekara said the action was taken to control a tense situation which erupted in the area earlier this evening. Meanwhile, as search operations continued across the country today, police spokesperson Gunasekara assures that there is no threat of explosions targeting bridges. A stock of weapons, meanwhile, was hidden underwater beneath the Hamilton Bridge in Kanamulla, Mundalama, which was discovered today following a joint operation by the Mundalama Police, the Special Task Force and a team of Navy divers. Following information gathered by intelligence services, a 10-acre plot of land used by suicide bombers who carried out the Easter Sunday attacks was found in Kathankude today by police and the Police Special Task Force. The owner of the land has been arrested and further investigations are underway to ascertain whether the land was used for terrorist training. Another individual was arrested during search operations in Maradana on suspicion of transporting 50 swords from Colombo to Berwala. Following further investigations into the incident, 4 persons who were in possession of 16 swords were arrested. Meanwhile, a tip-off led to a search operation at a house in Nugegoda, where an RPG rocket motor shell and 193 live ammunition used for 11 different guns were discovered. One woman has been apprehended and will be produced before the Nugegoda Magistrates Court tomorrow. 2 persons were arrested in a store at Bibila today after the discovery of 27 ammunitions. During the same search operation, the owner of another store was also arrested after books and documents related to the ISIS terror activities were found. Residents of Bibila also captured and handed over 2 individuals who were in female outfits to the police. Meanwhile, Police Special Task Force and the Navy conducted a joint operation to recover a bundle of weapons hidden underwater at a canal in Mundalama. Among the weapons and objects were 24 shells of bore 12, parts of bore 12, 3 swords, 24 knives, a binocular, a roll of copper thread, number plates which can be used in the eastern and western provinces, as well as several internet router machines. 456 Triforces uniforms were found by the police at 4 locations in Galle today. Meanwhile, police spokesperson SP Gunasekara assured that there is no threat of explosions targeting bridges.
A letter regarding blasting of bridges and flyovers was posted on social media network these days. The letter was sent to notify the authorities regarding unconfirmed basic information or raw information that was received by police. Facts have been revealed that there is no truth in that information, so the public is informed not to panic regarding this.
President Maithripala Sirisena says that he vows to eradicate terrorism and bring stability before election. Speaking to Reuters, the president went on to say that around 25 to 30 suspects linked to the National Tawhid Jamaat organization are still at large and steps are being taken for their immediate arrest.
දැන් තියෙන තත්ත්වවල කියන්න බෑ හරියටම ඔක ඉලෙක්ෂන් එක පවත්වන්න පුළුවන්ද කියලා.
අනුකූල අවස්ථාව තුළ ඉලෙක්ෂන් එක පවත්වන්න ඕනේ. මැතිවරණ කල් දාන්න පුළුවන් කමක් නැහැ. කලින්ම රට සාමකාමී කරනවා. ස්වාධීන අවසන් කරනවා. කරන්න පුළුවන්.
පොඩි කාලයක් තියෙනවා.
නෑ ඒක ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෑ. අපේ ආරක්ෂක හමුදා සහ බුද්ධ්‍යංශයේ ඉටු කරන බව මට විශ්වාසයි.
අධිපතිතුමා කිව්වනේ තව කට්ටියක් ඉන්නවා කියලා. තඩංගුවට ගන්න කී දෙනෙක් විතර කියලා ආරංචි මාර්ගයෙන් කියන්නේ.
සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අපි සොයාගෙන තියෙනවා 130ක් විතර ලංකාවේ මේ සංවිධානයට එන්නට ඇති කියලා. ඊට අමතරව අපි විශාල පිරිසක් අත්අඩංගුවට අරගෙන තිබෙනවා. ඒකට ඒ අත්අඩංගුවට අරන් තිබෙන පිරිසත් මියගිය සංඛ්‍යාවක් ගන්න විතර අපිට තව ඉතිරි පිරිසක් ඉන්නවා මේට සම්බන්ධයයි සැක කරන තව 25ක් 30ක් ඉන්නවා.
The president was also questioned on the link between the National Tawhid Jamaat organization and the Islamic State.
නෑ ඉතින් ඒක ඉතාම පැහැදිලි මොකද මේ සිද්ධිය සිදු වුණාට පස්සේ IS සංවිධානය ප්‍රකාශයක් කළානේ ඔවුන් මේ අප්‍රේල් 21 සිදුවීම කළේ කියලා. අනික් කාරණේ මේ පරීක්ෂණ වලින් බුද්ධ්‍යංශ සොයාගෙන තිබෙනවා. දැනට අවුරුදු 15ක පමණ සිට තමයි ලංකාවේ මේ සංවිධානයට සම්බන්ධ පුද්ගලයන් ශ්‍රී ලංකාවෙන් සම්බන්ධ කරගෙන තිබෙන්නේ. ඔවුන් පුහුණු වීම සඳහාත් විදේශවල ගිහින් තිබෙනවා. නමුත් ඔවුන් ත්‍රස්තවාදී ක්‍රියාවලට සම්බන්ධයයි එහෙම නැත්නම් ත්‍රස්තවාදී ව්‍යාපාරයක් සමග කටයුතු කරනවායි කියන තොරතුරු ඒ ආකාරයෙන් ලැබුණේ නැහැ අපිට. එහෙම ත්‍රස්තවාදී ව්‍යාපාරයකට සම්බන්ධ පිරිස් කියලා අපිට තොරතුරු හරියාකාරව තිබුණා නම් අපිට උන් අත්අඩංගුවට ගැනීමට පුළුවන්කම තිබුණා.
The president also went on to speak on the economic impact following the recent attacks.
මේ ත්‍රස්ත ප්‍රහාරය රටේ ආර්ථිකයට විශාල බලපෑමක් ඇති කරලා තිබෙනවා. විදේශ ආධාරත් යම් ප්‍රමාණයකට ලබා ගන්න පුළුවන්කම තිබෙනවා. මේ ඇතිවෙච්ච තත්ත්වය ගැන පැහැදිලි කරලා. ඒ නිසා අපිට සංචාරක ව්‍යාපාරයේ ශක්තිමත් කිරීම ඉතාමත් වැදගත්. මේ සම්බන්ධයෙන් මම අමාත්‍යවරුන්ගෙන් කැබිනට් අනුකාරක සභාවක් පත් කරලා සංචාරක ව්‍යාපාරය ශක්තිමත් කිරීම සඳහා අවශ්‍ය සියලුම කටයුතු කරන්න එයාට උපදෙස් දීලා තිබෙනවා.
Schools across the country are scheduled to be open tomorrow to commence the second term for grades 6 to 13. However, students of grade 1 to 5 will be able to start their term from May 13th onwards. Schools were closed for term holidays and were initially scheduled to reopen for the second term on the 22nd of April. However, the government decided to keep all schools closed until the security situation in the country is normalized following the Easter Sunday bombings. Following the decision by the National Security Council last week, the government announced that schools and universities in the country will reopen on the 6th of May. It is in this backdrop that President Maithripala Sirisena called for additional security measures to be implemented to ensure the safety of all schools.
As announced by police yesterday, search operations were carried out in schools across the country today. In Colombo, the search operation commenced after 1 p.m.
இது நம்ம டீச்சர்ஸ் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அது காணாம போச்சுதா அதான்
In the past 48 hours, armed forces have focused their full attention on the safety of school children. We have fully evaluated the security status quo and taken all necessary preventive security measures covering all the schools. These security arrangements will continue until the fear psychosis of the public is eliminated and the security is fully ensured. Still, if you entertain any lapse or suspicious about this arrangement, please feel free to make your suggestions or any amendments in close cooperation with nearest armed forces or the police.
As a special security measure, Sri Lanka Police has announced that specific parking slots will be allocated for vehicles belonging to school staff and those that transport students during school hours for schools within Colombo. Accordingly, vehicles that come to 8 schools in the Maradana police zone, including Ananda College, Ananda Balika Vidyalaya and Gautami Balika Vidyalaya, will be permitted to park at White Park in Ananda Mawatha and Dr. Vijayawardena Mawatha. Vehicles of 6 schools in Vellavidya police zone, including Hamid Al Husseini School, Hamid Al Husseini College Junior and KOTAHENA Hindu Boys College will be allocated at the Melwatha ground in Sangaraja Mawatha. 3 schools in MALIGAWATTA police zone will be allocated the Satusa car park along Sri Saddharma Mawatha. Meanwhile, the parking slot for the Defence College has been allocated Hyde Park ground in Union Place. 7 schools in the KESELWATTA police zone, including the Hindu College and St. Sebastian's College, will be allocated Saunders Park at Saunders Place as their parking slot. Schools in the Modara police zone will be allocated the Wiswide Park in Mattakuliya as their parking slot. 8 schools in DEMATAGODA police zone, including St. Anthony's College, St. John's College and Vipulananda Tamil College, will be allocated the land opposite the DEMATAGODA police station. Meanwhile, 7 schools in the KOTAHENA police zone, including the Good Shepherd Convent, St. Benedict's College and KOTAHENA Roman Catholic College, will be allocated the Matti Park car park behind the Sukatadasa Indoor Stadium. 7 schools in KIRULAPONE police zone, including Asian International School and Bond International School, will be allocated Lalit Atulat Mudali ground along the high-level road as their parking slot. 7 schools in the NARAHENPITA police zone, including Isipatana College, Sujata College and Royal Institute, will be allocated the Shalika ground situated at Park Road. Meanwhile, vehicles for schools in the Borella police zone, including Devi Balika College, Nalanda College, Wesley College and Bishop's College, are able to park at Campbell Park along Baseline Road. Police informed that vehicles heading towards Royal College will be able to park at FR Senanayaka Mawatha, Ananda Kumaraswamy Mawatha, Dharmapala Mawatha and Maitland Place in Colombo 7. Meanwhile, Thurston College will be allocated the premises of the Sri Lanka Foundation Institute. DS Senanayaka College will be allocated the Nandadasa Kotagoda Mawatha, Marcus Fernando Mawatha and Lionel Wendt in Colombo 7. Meanwhile, 7 schools including Museus College and St. Anthony's College will be allocated the Stanley Jans grounds in Perahara Road. St. Bridget's Convent has been allocated Malala Sekara Mawatha opposite CRNFC grounds. Carey College is allocated the Kingsey Road for their vehicle parking. Colombo International School, Wycherley International School and Stafford International School will be allocated Racecourse grounds in Reed Avenue as their parking slot. 10 colleges in Kollupitiya police zone, including Bishop's College, Muslim Ladies College and St. Peter's College, will be allocated parking slots in the Marine Drive from Kollupitiya Railway Station to Bambalapitiya Railway Station. Vehicles for Visakha College will be allocated the BRC grounds in High Level Road as their parking slot. Meanwhile, 4 schools including St. Paul's Girls' School and Lumbini College will be allocated the Kure grounds in Lawrence Road.
Meanwhile, Chief Prelate of the Askiriya chapter, Most Venerable Varakagoda Sri Gnanaratana Thera, has requested the government to postpone the commencement of schools until the security of the country is ensured. Making a special statement today, the Venerable Thera stated that measures should be taken to reopen all schools on the same day.
දෙවෙනි වාරයේ හෙට ආරම්භ කිරීමට කටයුතු කරන බව පේනවා. නමුත් පවතින වාතාවරණය දිහා බලනකොට එවැන්නක් කිරීමට තරම් සුදුසු පරිසරයක් නොවන බව පැහැදිලිව පේනවා අපිට. ඒ නිසා දෙමව්පියෝ බොහොම භීතියට පත් වෙලා ඉන්නවා මේ අවස්ථාවේදී තමන්ගේ දරුවෝ පාසල් වෙත යැවීම සඳහා. ඒ නිසා අපි ප්‍රකාශ කරනවා ගරු ජනාධිපතිතුමාට, අගමැතිතුමා, අධ්‍යාපන ඇමතිතුමා ඇතුළු වගකීම් යුක්තන්ද තව ටිකක් සතියක් දෙකක් බලලා සියලුම පාසල් එකවර ආරම්භ කරනවා නම් හොඳයි කියලා.
Meanwhile, UMP parliamentarians Kavinda Jayawardena and Hector Apuhami called on the Chief Prelate of the Askiriya chapter, Most Venerable Varakagoda Sri Gnanaratana Thera today. The duo handed over a letter pertaining to measures that should be taken by the government at present following the recent attacks. The parliamentarians later called on the Chief Prelate of the Malawati chapter, Most Venerable Tibbatuave Sri Sumangala Thera.
ඒකට බොහොම විරෝධතාවක් තියෙනවා. ඇමතිතුමාට කල්පියම මතක් කළොත් තමයි දෙමෝපියෝම ළමයි පාඨශාලාවලට එවන්නේ නැති එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒකට මේ නියෝගිත වැඩ කරනවා. ඒ නිසා ඒක නතර කරනකොට වඩා හොඳයි ඊගවසතියව. එහෙම නැහැ. අගමැතිතුමා එක පැත්තක ජනාධිපතිතුමා තව පැත්තක. මේ වගේ වෙලාවට ඔක්කොම එකතු වෙනවා. අපි ආරක්ෂා කරගන්න වැඩ පිළිවෙල දියුණු කරන වැඩ පිළිවෙල ඇති කරනවා.
Parliamentarians Kamila Jawadana addressed the media following the visit.
Main four party leaders must get together and try to solve the current situation the country is in. And the second point is that the Sharia University in East, the government must take over the university. That's an essential thing. And there are Afghanistani and Pakistani refugees in Nigambu. So the government must take actions either to deport them or keep them under the surveillance of the security forces. And Honorable Sarath Fonseca, the former minister, current MP, Field Marshal, to be appointed as the law and order minister. And we should not be having religion-based schools in this country. If we have religion-based schools, in that case, certain number of percentage of other believers, other students from Christian religion, Catholic religion, Hindu, Buddhist must be also given the opportunity to study in these schools.
Meanwhile, opposition leader Mahinda Rajapaksa expressed caution over the government's decision to reopen schools as warnings of further attacks still remain. He pointed out, however, that despite these warnings, the current security in the country seems to be improving owing to the efforts of the tri-forces and police.
ආණ්ඩුව කියනවා මේක ආරක්ෂක මණ්ඩලයේදී මේ තීන්දුව ගත්තා කියලා. අකිල කියන්නේ එහෙමයි ඇමතිවරයා කියන්නේ. ආදීන වහන්සේ නම් කියන ආරක්ෂක මාංශේ හරි මං හිතන්නේ එක පැත්තකින් තා ටිකක් බලන්න ඕන මොකද මේ දැනට තර්ජනයක් තියෙනවා අපිටත් කියලා තියෙනවා මේ හෙට අනිද්දා අපි පිළිම ඇති වෙන්න ඉඩ තියෙනවා කියලා. ඉතින් ඒ තත්ත්වයට යටතේ මං හිතනවා අපිට ඒවත් අපි බලන්න ඕනනේ. අපිට පේනන විදිය අපි දැක්ක විදියට අපිට පේනවා පටන් ගන්නවට වඩා හොඳ තත්ත්වයක් තියෙනවා කියලා.
Meanwhile, issuing a special statement today, the leader of the opposition also touched on the proposed counter-terrorism bill. Rajapaksa alleges that the government is attempting to promote the counter-terrorism bill by claiming that it can prohibit Sri Lankans from having connections with foreign terrorist organizations. In his statement, the opposition leader also says that the proposed bill is designed to treat terrorists with the utmost leniency to the extent where its actual effect will be that of protecting and giving encouragement to terrorists and not countering terrorism. According to the statement, if the trial under the Act is not concluded within 1 year, the High Court is required to release the accused on bail. He says that if the proposed counterterrorism bill is passed into law, it will hamper ongoing efforts to suppress terrorism following the Easter Sunday bomb attacks. Meanwhile, addressing a media briefing at the Ministry of Defence today, media spokesperson of Sri Lanka Army, Brigadier Sumit Atapattu, brushed aside rumours of any movement of lorries carrying bombs, explosions as well as murders by hacking and requested the people to keep faith in the country's armed forces. Also speaking at the media briefing, spokesperson of the Tri-Forces also gave their respective updates on the search operations conducted across the island.
By now, various rumours, fabrications are doing rounds, such as movement of lorries laden with bombs, explosions, murder by hacking, etc. Should we respond to those distortions in fear and cripple day-to-day work, or weaken ourselves as a country? You yourself have to decide whether you would continue to confide in our armed forces. The prime responsibility of the armed forces is to ensure security to your day-to-day life. As of now, the arrest of coward terrorists who assassinated unarmed innocent people is continuing successfully.
In view of the schools commencing tomorrow,
the Sri Lanka Air Force has been deployed to ensure the security of schools. The arrangement at the moment is that all schools in Sri Lanka have been divided into 21 sectors. Of these, the Sri Lanka Air Force is directly responsible for 3 main sectors and 1 subsector, namely Colombo, Katunayaka, Ratmalana, and the subsector of Pahlavi. Under the sector of Colombo, 19 schools are being secured by the Sri Lanka Air Force. Ratmalana is responsible for 102 schools and Katunayaka for 129 schools. In addition to that, in the subsector of Pahlavi, the Sri Lanka Air Force is ensuring the security of 7 schools.
During a search at Kalutara South Railway Station, the Navy could apprehend a person for holding 7 uniforms similar to the Army and the Air Force camouflage. Also, during a search in Trincomalee area, Navy could apprehend 5 suspects for holding videos which contains extremism and foreign terrorist activities. Also, during a search in Galle area, day before yesterday, the Navy could apprehend another 2 persons for holding the same kind of videos which spreads the terrorism and the extremism. The Navy also contributed for tomorrow and today's special security plan around the schools along with the current security plan of Sri Lanka.
Now, it's been 2 weeks since this spate of attacks on Easter Sunday, which left the entire world grieving for those who lost their lives. Denmark is among the countries who are mourning the loss of 3 of its citizens, the children of Esos Bjørne and Anders Holst Poulsen, who were killed in the explosion at Shangri-La Hotel. Now, their funeral service took place at Aarhus Cathedral in Denmark yesterday and was attended by Crown Prince Frederik and Princess Mary of Denmark, as well as the Danish Prime Minister Lars Løkke Rasmussen.
Danish billionaire behind online fashion retailer ASOS, Anders Holst Poulsen, lost 3 of his 4 children in the explosion that took place in Shangri-La Hotel while holidaying in Sri Lanka. Just days before her death, one of the 3 children, Alma, uploaded an image of her 3 siblings by the poolside on Instagram. The funeral service for the 3 children, Alfred, Alma and Agnes, was held at the Aarhus Cathedral in Denmark yesterday. The Danish royals attended the emotional farewell with Crown Prince Frederik, Princess Mary and their 4 children, as well as the Danish Prime Minister Lars Løkke Rasmussen. In a separate memorial service held last week, Poulsen and his wife Anne described losing 3 of their children as completely incomprehensible. During the funeral, they said that they will get through the sorrow together with support from their loved ones, friends and colleagues. They went on to appreciate the humanity shown by the town of Brund to their families and children and to all the victims of the attacks in Sri Lanka.
Now, around 9 a.m. today, roughly the same time, a suicide bomber killed 29 of their fellow parishioners at the Evangelical Zion Church 2 weeks ago. Worshippers were seen offering their prayers for those who lost their lives. Inside, several hundred worshippers knelt on the tile floor with their arms lifted in prayer. Zion Church would need more repairs before the church could be used again. There were also no services at St. Sebastian's Church in Negombo, where at least 102 people perished. But a mass was held behind closed doors at St. Anthony's Church in Colombo, the 3rd church bombed that day. Now, after being on trial for 3 months in Dubai, notorious underworld figure Marc-André Madouche has been deported from Dubai this morning. Upon his arrival, he was arrested by officials from the Criminal Investigation Department and is currently being interrogated. Drug kingpin Marc-André Madouche was under the custody of Dubai authorities after being arrested at a party hosted by him at a Dubai hotel in October last year.
Notorious underworld figure Marc-André Madouche, also known as Samarasinghe Arachige Madouche Lakshita, was arrested by Dubai police at a party in Dubai on the 5th of February this year. 31 Sri Lankans, including underworld figures singer Amal Pereira and his son, as well as actor Ryan Van Rooyen, were among those arrested. After a trial of almost 3 months in Dubai, Marc-André Madouche, who was deported from Dubai last night, landed in Sri Lanka early this morning. His deportation comes in a backdrop where an Interpol red notice was issued for his arrest over his alleged involvement in several criminal activities. Security officials at the airport arrested Marc-André Madouche upon his arrival at the airport and was later handed over to the officials of the Department of Immigration and Immigration. The passport which was used by Madouche identified him as Varnakula Surya Ajit Eranga from Gampaha. Other passport details such as his date of birth was recorded as the 20th of February 1979. He was later taken into the custody by officials of the Criminal Investigation Department and the State Intelligence Service. After being questioned for 20 minutes, he was taken to the CID headquarters under tight security by officials of the Special Task Force. Makandure Madush was identified as an underworld leader following the assassination of the former chairman of the Southern Development Authority, Danny Hitatia, in 2006. Since then, he was allegedly directly and indirectly involved for carrying out 50 murders, including having orchestrated the prison bus shooting in Kalutara in 2017. Police added that Makandure Madush had planned the shooting of the Inspector of the Police Narcotics Bureau, Niyumal Rangajiva, at Peliyandala in 2017. In addition to being involved for murder, he is also allegedly involved in drug dealing. According to police, he is the largest drug smuggler, second to Potta Naufar. The police further added that all 31 suspects arrested along with Makandure Madush have now been deported to Sri Lanka. The drug kingpin's closest accomplice, Kanjipani Imran, is still in remand custody. Singer Amal Pereira and his son Nadimal Pereira, however, have been released by police following interrogations.
Makandure Madush had arrived to Katunayak airport this morning after he had been deported from Dubai. He is currently being detained at the Criminal Investigation Department headquarters, Colombo, and investigations are being continued. He had gone abroad using a fake passport on 2nd June 2015. Investigations regarding this are being continued.
Now we will have more news for you right after this short commercial break, so make sure you stay tuned.
You are watching Sri Lanka's #1 news channel. This is AdaDerana 24.
Welcome back to the news. The National Livestock Development Board has embarked on a program to add value to its products with an investment of $10 million. It has submitted a project proposal to seek a credit line of $10 million from Israel to mechanize the industry. The board aims to achieve a target of 3 billion rupees in turnover this year. According to the chairman of the National Livestock Development Board, Professor H.W. Cyril, a number of measures has been taken to add value to milk and coconut-based products. The organization will initially produce items such as buffalo curd, goat milk, milk toffee, coconut oil, yogurt and processed meat in the hope of adding more to the line in the future. The market analysts expect the market liquidity in the Colombo bourse to rise during the upcoming week. During the week, the All-Share Price Index edged about 0.03%, while the S&P SL 20 decreased by 0.7%. With that, we now have Dimantha Matthew from First Capital Holdings with the weekly forecast.
Improved liquidity levels are having a positive sentiment in the bond market as yields decline amidst the buying interest that is there in the market. We expect this trend to continue next week as well, the market liquidity continuing to rise. The stock market, of course, following the volatility after the Easter Sunday attacks, last week we saw the markets continuing on sideways movement.
We have news from you from the other side of the world, so make sure you stay tuned for more.
You are watching Sri Lanka's #1 news channel. This is AdaDerana 24.
Israel and militants in Gaza Strip have stepped up their attacks on each other in some of the most intense exchanges in recent years. Palestinian militants have fired more than 450 rockets into Israeli territory since yesterday. Israel says many were intercepted, but one man was killed. Meanwhile, Palestinians say 6 people were killed in retaliation strikes from Israel.
The escalation began on Friday when 2 Israeli soldiers were wounded by Gaza gunfire near the border. A retaliatory Israeli airstrike killed 2 militants from the Islamist Hamas group that governs Gaza. 2 other Palestinians protesting near the frontier were also killed by Israeli forces. The flare-up, which prompted Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to convene his Security Council, comes days before Muslims begin the holy month of Ramadan and Israelis celebrate Independence Day. Israeli Prime Minister had ordered the military to continue its massive strikes on terror elements in the Gaza Strip. The Israeli Defense Forces say they have struck about 220 targets in the Gaza Strip over the weekend, while Gaza militants had fired more than 250 rockets into Israeli towns and villages so far. Egyptian mediators credited with brokering ceasefires in previous rounds of violence were working to prevent further hostilities. Egypt and the United Nations have been trying to broker a longer-time ceasefire between the two parties since last month.
Meanwhile, North Korea confirmed via state media that leader Kim Jong-un has overseen a strike drill testing various missile components. A number of short-range projectiles were also fired from the Hodo Peninsula into the Sea of Japan yesterday. The announcement cited the purpose of the drill was to test performance of large-caliber, long-range multiple rocket launchers and tactical guided weapons by defense units. Military experts said that the tactical guided weapons could be a short-range ground-to-ground ballistic missiles. US President Donald Trump meanwhile tweeted saying that he believed that the North Korean leader would not jeopardize the path towards better relations. Now, the West Indies opening pair Shai Hope and John Campbell scripted a world record with a marvellous 336-run opening partnership against Ireland at the Clontarf Cricket Club ground in Dublin today. Surpassing the Pakistani pair of Fakhar Zaman and Imamul Haq, the Windies duo created a new opening wicket record in ODI cricket during the first match of the Tri-Series that also includes Bangladesh. It was also the first time in ODI format of the game that both openers clinched 150 runs each. British number 1 Johanna Konta missed out on her first WTA clay court title after Greece's Maria Sakkari fought back to win the Morocco Open. Konta led by a set and a break before Sakkari won 10 of the final 11 game to seal a 2-6, 6-4, 6-1 victory in Rabat. Britain's two-time Grand Slam semi-finalist served strongly in the opening set before unforced errors crept in. Sakkari sealed her first WTA title with a forehand winner on her second championship point. And with that, we conclude this edition of First at 9. Thank you for joining us and have a pleasant evening.